What'd you think of this?
It's not
904 days since we last saw Jonathan Isaac play in a basketball game. August 2nd, 2020. And before that, January 1st, 2020 was the last time we saw him healthy. Man overcame two injuries. Jehovah God came down himself and gave this man the power. He played defense. He had that steal. He looked out like he was Antonio Cromartie, came out and was like, and then passed the ball, I think, to Cole Anthony or somebody, ran up the court, got the pass, and just pulled up from three. Okay, Jonathan Isaac in 10 minutes, I believe it was a play. Looked fantastic. I mean, seriously, when we were watching this game, I thought this was a game that I was rather impressed by. Just Jonathan Isaac and his ability to just attack, oh, wrong video. But attack the basket. What are your thoughts about Jonathan Isaac?
Well, he's one of the best defense players in the league. He averaged 2.3 blocks and 1.6 steals the last year he was healthy, along with 12 points and 7 rebounds, and he can shoot threes. So, I mean, I'm just glad he's still on the Magic and he has a shot to get into the rotation. It is kind of a logjam in general with the whole entire Magic team, but I would imagine they're going to make some moves at the deadline and that'll clear up some minutes. But yeah, I think he played 10 minutes and he scored 10 points. So he was on his way to a very successful. I mean, he's been in the league for a long time now.
Oh yeah, this guy was a guy who was coming in as if he had stayed on course, he was probably would have won Defensive Player of the Year already. He'd probably be one of the best two-way players. I'm not going to say would have been a 20-point scorer, but he would have been the prototypical 3-and-D guy. I mean, last we saw him, he was at 12 points per game score. At this point, he probably would have been a 15 points per game guy, grabbing 7 boards, dishing out 2 assists, averaging like 2 blocks, 2 steals a game. And tonight, 10 points, 10 minutes, guy basically averaged 36 points, and if he did his per 36. And I think the big thing was, if you looked at his G League stats, because he did play 3 G League games before this, the shot was, obviously he was, not falling from 3, but he was grabbing rebounds. He moved well. I think there wasn't a lack of confidence. And that's the big thing I want to say right here, is that I don't think people realize this, is that Jonathan Isaac, he's moving well. And part of the reason why I think this recovery took a long time was he basically said, I don't want to come back with rust. I don't want to come back in pain. I don't want to come back still working to come back. I want to come back and be back. And I think that's a big thing that's been happening in the NBA as late, is that we saw Jamal Murray. We just saw it with Jamal Murray. We saw it with Klay Thompson. We saw it with Markelle Fultz. We've seen it with a lot of these guys that, after Adrian Peterson did that 9-month torn ACL recovery, okay, torn ACL, 9 months. We expect everyone to be 9 months. But over the last year, 2 years, we've seen all these basketball players take, 12 to 18 months to recover from a torn ACL. And it's because they rather come back 110% than come back at 90 and work up to that 100. They rather come back 110 and already be able to hit the ground running, and all that they have to work on is to shake off the rust, than have to not just shake off the rust, but still
Yeah. You're starting to see a lot of guys. Yeah, exactly what you're saying. And, some of them are even playing in back-to-backs, not necessarily ACL tears, but just, maybe you have a groin issue or whatever, an ankle issue or whatever, and then, 2 weeks later they're back playing back-to-backs, getting 40 minutes a night. It's pretty
you're being more cautious with the injuries because of the long-term ramifications. And I just think when you look at a guy like Jonathan Isaac, there's 2 outcomes here. Jonathan Isaac fits with the core, and we have a future of, Paulo Banchero, Franz Wagner, Jonathan Isaac, Jalen Suggs, Markelle Fultz, Cole Anthony, Chuma KK, Caleb Houston, all those guys put together. That's the long trees, that's the option A if everything goes well. Option B, his contract's partially guaranteed, and if he shows that he's still good, they can maybe go into the offseason and fetch a first round picks for Jonathan Isaac to a team that would like, that's maybe if they believe that Jonathan Isaac isn't part of their timeline, because Jonathan Isaac is 25, so he's still young, but he could be deemed somebody that isn't a part of their timeline. And I just think Jonathan Isaac right here. What up, Fred the Jig? Yeah, we're talking about our Magic. Also, a Magic fan right here. If you can see my little Orlando Magic poster, but I think this is just definitely, you're just seeing Jonathan Isaac. He's going to work back from this. The 3-point shot was getting better every single year. The defense is there. I think it's just, these are baby steps, and it's just going to be very fun to see what we're going to see of Jonathan Isaac, a guy who's overcame so much. Any closing thoughts?
Yeah, I'm excited. I don't think they're, they probably don't even know what they're doing. They got time. I am just like quick Magic talk. I don't know if it's the injury to Jalen Suggs really sucks because they're not playing him too much right now. But thankfully, Markelle Fultz is a beast, and it's Suggs' second year.
So yeah, no, I honestly think there's a lot of stuff, and no, I think this is a team that, look, Jonathan Isaac, he's a fun player, and I think this is just a good story that we just hope continues to go, and it's coming to fruition. It's just good to see him on the court. But again, everything is baby steps. So let's just, don't take anything for granted, and take everything with a grain of salt, because this is a guy who's just coming back and playing, professional basketball for the first time in 900 days. Yeah, I know he had some runs in the G League, but it's not the same thing.
You want to take a guess on the lowest price for like 2 weeks from now? The Bulls at Magic?
$5.
No.
2.
No.
7.
Higher.
12.
Way higher.
25.
Higher.
I don't know.
$60.
Cheapest.
Yeah.